Hey everybody, HomeSliceHenry here, and in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at some incredibly fun battles in the Master League Premier Cup featuring Unobtainable Legacy Quick Attack Starmie. Starmie is a Water and Psychic type Pokemon with the moveset of Quick Attack, Thunder, and Ice Beam. Starmie is definitely not a Pokemon I'd recommend running, as it has only a 2% win rate versus the Premier meta in the One Shield, but with Thunder and Ice Beam, it has some really fun one-shot potential. So without further ado, let's hop into the matches and check out Unobtainable Legacy Starmie in action in the Master League. Terrible lead in the first match, Dragonite into Togekiss. I'm going to save switch into Starmie. Opponent is farming up, and then they bring in Gyarados, the exact Pokemon we want to see. Starmie going for the Thunder, it connects, and down goes Gyarados. Back in comes Togekiss to charm down. They do have a lot of energy, but now that I have switch advantage, I can align the Togekiss onto my Excadrill. I will shield in case it's a flamethrower, but they decide to only go for an ancient power bait. I'm going to farm up and throw just before I reach the back-to-back. This is not quite Rock Slide range, and they will let it through. I'm going for the Mud Shot farm down, and they're able to reach a last-second ancient power. I will be able to tank this, so I'm not going to commit a shield. And in the back, they have a Mud Shot Garchomp, so we should be in a very good spot here. Exa is absolutely loaded, so I'm going to be able to reach a second drill run here, and this is going to be doing a nice amount of damage or grabbing the final shield. And now that shields are down, Dragonite is in a very safe position to clean up. I will shield this, doesn't matter what move it is. I'm going to shield it up and be able to make it to the Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw should just about be taking out the Garchomp here. Dragon Claw plus the Dragon Breath taking him down, and that is a good game. Tough lead in the next match, Dragonite into Excadrill. I'm going to immediately save switch into Starmie. Starmie doesn't have a better matchup here, but I'm basically just trying to bait them into switching out. Drill Run does massive damage, and in comes Gyarados. Starmie, very low HP, able to reach the Thunder. Can we go 2 for 2 on landing Thunders? Yes, we can! And just like that, Starmie has flipped switch advantage. Opponent is going to be bringing in their third Pokemon, which is Dragonite, and I'm going to match with my own. They do have a slight energy lead, so they're barely able to outpace. I should be able to tank the Dragon Claw, and then I'm going to fire back with my own. I actually really want to grab a shield here if at all possible, and we do get shield advantage, and now I'm going to bring in my Exca. I should be in a pretty okay spot here, going for the Rock Slide, but an incredible read by my opponent, and they catch my Rock Slide back onto their Exca. I'll be honest, I thought I had the game won, but with that catch, my opponent may have got themselves back into it. Drill Run is able to take out their Exca, and now it's going to be a race. Can their Dragonite get to 3 Dragon Claws before I get to 2 Rock Slides? They do have a very big energy lead. I am going to be going for the first Rock Slide. This will be grabbing the final shield off the Dragonite. Dragonite is going for Dragon Claw number 2. This is going to be very, very close. I'm committing the final shield. Exca able to reach the final Rock Slide. This is going to be taking down the Dragonite, and that is a good game. The bad leads continue in the next match, Dragonite into Togekiss. Like last time, I'm going to immediately save switch into Starmie and hope that they switch out. Togekiss farms up and then brings in Dragonite. Starmie going for the Ice Beam. Ice Beam, big damage on a Dragonite, and we're able to quick attack down. Opponents not respecting Starmie's damage, and it is costing them dearly. Back in comes Togekiss, but now I get to align it with my Excadrill. I'm going to be going straight for the Rock Slide. Togekiss is not in a range where Rock Slide will KO, but they still do commit the shield, and honestly, I'm perfectly fine with that. I am going to mirror shields here, only ends up being an ancient power, but Exca just dramatically outpaces in this matchup. So I am going to be firing off yet another Rock Slide. Rock Slide does get them quite low, and the final Pokemon in the back is a Waterfall Gyarados. So switch advantage was absolutely everything. If we don't flip switch, we get fully hard countered, but Starmie taking back switch, we are now in a position where we are going to be able to close out the match. I do commit the shield, and it's the Outrage, and now I should be able to farm down. As they're not going to be able to reach another Outrage, this is just going to be an Aqua Tail, and then Dragonite will get to exact some revenge and take out the Togekiss. Back in comes Togekiss. Dragonite going for the Hurricane. Hurricane takes down the Togekiss, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Dragonite into Garchomp. This is a very nice lead, even if the Garchomp is running Dragon Tail, and this one is, Dragonite just straight up outpaces it. So I am going to farm up and throw just before they would reach a potential Sand Tomb. Dragon Claw does get the shield. Garchomp going for the farm down. Dragonite able to hold on and reach a last second Dragon Claw. Can we grab the second shield? We do not, and we're able to win switch advantage and shield advantage. Opponent is going to bring in a Waterfall Gyarados to farm down, but we know exactly what to do with Waterfall Gyarados. We introduce them to our Starmie. I am going to commit the shield here. It is the crunch, and we'll have to see what they have in back, and it is a Magnezone. So winning switch advantage was absolutely crucial. Going for the Drill Run. Drill Run takes down the Magnezone, and I have a Thunder loaded. So I'm hoping they're going to shield the Rock Slide, and then I can land the Thunder. Rock Slide goes unshielded, and I suddenly realize that I'm not going to get to land my Thunder after all. Instead, I'm just going to get to Quick Attack down with Starmie. Starmie commits the shield, Quick Attack goes through, and that is a good game. Walrein lead in the next match, and this is trouble. I'm going to save switch into Starmie, and my opponent responds with a Mudshot Garchomp. Starmie is going to outpace and get to the Ice Beam. Ice Beam, able to connect and does big damage onto Garchomp. Earth Power would do a ton of damage in return, so I will commit the shield, and just like that, Starmie has once again flipped switch advantage. Switch doesn't necessarily save me though, because Walrein has a tremendous amount of play against both my Exca and my Dragonite. Starmie is gonna go for the Thunder. Thunder able to connect and does big damage onto the Walrein. So Starmie putting in a lot of work in this match. They go for the Earthquake, and I'm going to bring in Dragonite, trying to farm down, but they have leftover energy, and they're able to reach an Icicle Spear. I will commit the shield. The question is what's in back, and it is a Togekiss. Normally a good matchup for Exca, but at a 2 shield to 0 disadvantage, things are honestly not looking great for me. I'm going to be able to reach 2 Rock Slides before they get the Flamethrower, but this Flamethrower is easily going to be able to take out my Exca. Rock Slide does get the shield, and this is going to be the Flamethrower. No shields left, Exca goes down, and now it's all up to Dragonite. Can Dragonite reach back-to-back Dragon Claws? I am going to be going for the first. This will be grabbing that final shield from Togekiss. Can we reach a second? Yes, we can. This is double resisted. Is it going to be enough damage to KO? It is. Can we farm down? We cannot. And we lose a heartbreaking game. Hopping into the next match, putting Dragonite into Electivire. Electivire is definitely a scary Pokemon to see because Electivire can be running Ice Punch, which would hit Dragonite for double super effective damage. So I'm expecting them to farm to the back-to-back. So I'm going to count up, wait for the back-to-back, and catch the Ice Punch onto Starmie. Let's go. But it's a Wild Charge, and my poor Starmie gets absolutely one-shot. A massive mistake by me, and suddenly I'm down an entire Pokemon. They go for a Wild Charge, and then they bring in Waterfall Gyarados. So at the very least, their backline appears to be pretty weak to Dragonite, but that is a massive mistake by me to let my Starmie get taken out so easily. Dragon Claw does get the shield, and that is quite nice, because my team should do pretty well with shields down. I am going to commit the final shield, and then try and commit to the farm down, and I'm able to do so. Dragonite has a nice energy lead and a lot of health left remaining. That Electivire is very low. They bring in the final Pokemon, and it's Conkeldurr, but we have the Hurricane. Hurricane taking down Conkeldurr. We're going to be able to farm down the Electivire, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, leading Dragonite into Mamoswine. Despite the fact that I'm taking double super effective damage in this matchup is honestly not terrible for Dragonite. We're still able to do quite a bit of damage with the Dragon Breaths, and the Dragon Claws are able to force a shield. I am going to commit the shield back. Avalanche, of course, would easily take us out. And then I'm going to try and get to a second Dragon Claw. Dragonite is able to get there, and if they want Mamo alive, they're going to have to commit the final shield. They do. I save switch Starmie, and my opponent gift wraps their Waterfall Gyarados to me on a plate. Starmie going for the Thunder. Goodbye, Gyarados. And down it goes. Opponent is going to wait the switch clock and then bring back in Mamoswine. I'm going to let this through. If they bulldoze me, they bulldoze me. but they Avalanche. Avalanche not going to be enough to KO, and they're forced to go for another move. At this point, I'm just thinking of going for the one shield farm down with my Exa, because Exa with an energy lead basically doesn't lose. So I am going to be committing the shield here, as Avalanche would do quite a lot of damage, and then try and commit to the farm down, and in the back, it is Haxorus. I should be able to outpace, but I think I saw them sneak. So I'm going to throw two more, switch, and catch on to Dragonite. And if this game wasn't over before, it is definitely over now. Excadrill back in with the Drill Run, taking down the Haxorus, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, switching Dragonite into Exa. Pretty bad lead, so I am going to be safe switching into Starmie. And my opponent immediately responds with Gyarados. We know the drill by now. Starmie loading up the Thunder. Gyarados actually commits the shield. I am stunned. This is the first Gyarados to respect the Thunder, and mad props to this trainer. They go for the Aqua Tail, and they go for the farm down. It's the first trainer to actually respect Starmie's damage. Gyarados is going to be going for the crunch. I'm going to tank it, and then I'm going to fire off the Dragon Claw. Dragon Claw won't quite KO, but I'm hoping I'm going to be able to farm down before they're able to get to another move, and I'm able to do so, and now I have shield advantage for my Exa. They're going to be bringing in their Exa as well, and I'm going to match. Bringing in my own Exa here. I'm over farming and going to be going for the Drill Run. I was watching for a potential catch, but they're staying in, so I may as well force that final shield. They're going to be throwing, but I have two shields, so I'm more than willing to shield whatever they want to throw here. And then I do, of course, have to be mindful for a catch. They are throwing the back-to-back. I am going to commit that final shield. Watch for the catch. They go for it, and it's Dragonite in the back. And I have an absolute ton of energy. Rock Slide number one. Big damage onto the Dragonite. I overfarm, and they're able to reach a Dragon Claw. This will not KO, but it is going to get me rather low. I'm going to farm up till just before the back-to-back. This Rock Slide will KO. The question is, can we survive a Mud Shot? Yes, we can! Exa on very low HP, able to reach the Drill Run, taking down the opponent, and that is a good game. Hopping into the next match, splitting Dragonite into Gyarados. I'm really hoping this is going to be a Waterfall Gyarados, but it is Dragon Breath. Still not a terrible matchup. I'm going to stay in and go for the Dragon Claw, hoping to try and grab a shield. I do, and then I'm going to bring in my Exa. I will respect the Aqua Tail. I can tank it, but it would just do a ton of damage. And then my opponent responds with a Dragon Tail Garchomp. Honestly, Dragon Tail Garchomp isn't terrible for Exa because Sand Tomb doesn't hit particularly hard. And that's typically what they're running. They go for the Sand Tomb, and I'm not going to shield this because Exa is going to be able to tank this, and then I can fire back with another Drill Run. This will be getting them very, very low. Garchomp lets it through, and I'm able to Mud Shot down. If they bring back in the Gyarados, I think I can reach one final Rock Slide. They do, and I'm able to reach a very low health Rock Slide. If they commit the shield, this should set up Starmie. They commit the shield, and then I make a massive mistake. I should have let the Exa go down, but instead, I aggressively switch in Starmie, and they bring in their final Pokemon, which is their own Exa. Now I'm switch locked into a terrible matchup, and I'm not going to get my Thunder one-shot onto Gyarados. So an absolutely massive misplay. I'm going to try and wait my switch clock. Maybe I can use my Exa as a potential third shield, but my switch timer is not up yet. I am going to commit the shield here, hoping that my switch clock is going to be up in time. Going for the swap, but it's not up, and they reach the second Rock Slide. Rock Slide will take out my Dragonite, and that is a good game. Hopping to the final match, leading Dragonite into Shadow Snorlax. Pretty decent lead for Dragonite, but I do have to be mindful of a potential outrage. Thankfully, they throw right away, which tells me this cannot be an outrage, so I'm more than willing to let this go. They are farming up a ton, and I'm going straight for the Hurricane. This will KO if they decide to let it through. Hurricane able to take down the Snorlax, and they bring in Metagross. I don't really want to pivot, so I'm going to stay in, farm up, and try and fake a Hurricane, hoping to try and grab a shield, and I'm able to do so. That is absolutely massive. I need shield advantage because this Metagross is absolutely loaded. They go for the Earthquake, and they have Gyarados in the back. I'm going to be bringing in Starmie, and at this point, May as well full send the Thunder. One last Thunder. Starmie taking down the Gyarados. And back in comes Metagross. But if Metagross wants to farm down, this is a very ambitious farm. Starmie is going to be able to reach the Thunder. Thunder does big damage. Going for the quick attack down. And that is a good game. As I mentioned at the beginning, Starmie is definitely not a Pokemon that I would recommend for the Master League Premier Cup. Basically, the one thing it has going for it is the element of surprise. But my goodness, if the opponents decide to underestimate Starmie, this thing can be incredibly fun to run, able to one-shot Gyarados or almost one-shot a Garchomp or Dragonite. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you're enjoying the content, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And a special thank you, as always, to our members here on YouTube. The support you guys provide is absolutely incredible. So thank you guys oh so very much. And until next time, I've been HomeSliceHenry.